Yeah, all good. All good. So the question is, have I ever used hypnotic language to distract the football penalty take of the opposition? Well, in the case of a penalty shootout, generally speaking, from a coaching perspective, I'm a little too far away for them to hear me. Or if it's a penalty conceded in general play, same again, they're probably not going to hear me from the sideline. That said, given the opportunity, would I do it? Yeah, possibly. Have I spoken to players about it that I've worked with? Yeah, absolutely. I've spoken to players and keepers for sure. And the goal is obviously to increase the likelihood of the opposition player to miss the penalty. So, in brevity, what is involved? Well, it involves subtle, rhythmic, and suggestive phrases, which we'll explore shortly. And the goal is to disrupt the penalty taker's focus, possibly confidence, interrupt that pattern, when ultimately you would like to reduce the chance of the player scoring a penalty. So you could speak in a calm, steady tone, and you can weave in certain words and phrases that evoke imagery, create distraction. A bit like if you're having a conversation with somebody and the phone goes, you pick up the phone and you go back to the conversation, you kind of forget what you were talking about, or perhaps someone knocks on the door and you go to the door and you come back and you forgot. So that sort of level of distraction or confusion. In confusion, the mind latches on to things that make sense to a certain extent, and that can create doubt in the opposition player. So that can be enough of a distraction that makes the penalty taker second guess their decision, that moment of hesitancy. So what phrase would you use? Well, there isn't any sort of specific phrases, but you might sort of imply the pressure's building. You might say, well, don't miss the target. So a bit like if someone says, don't think of a pink elephant, the first thing you think of is a pink elephant. So don't miss the target. You can plant seeds of uncertainty. So the psychological tactic leverages the power of suggestion, potentially to unnerve the opponent and increase, you'd like to think, the chance of missing the shot. And obviously giving the goalkeeper possibly some kind of advantage, and obviously the team as well against the opposition.